Hi, it's Shauna here, and I just wanted to talk a little bit today about relief objects and why I recommend them and how I use them. I recommend relief objects for any time that you're writing for release and recovery. If you're writing on a difficult topic, it doesn't have to be traumatic. It can just be something that gets you really riled up, anything that hurts in any way. And we're perfectly capable of hurting without being traumatized. It can be sadness, it could be excessive joy, and you might find yourself coming ungrounded. That feeling where you're not quite tethered, you're sort of lifting and floating away, or you just don't know how to get back to your typical, your normal. So I use relief objects specifically to get myself grounded. And one of the relief objects I have, I actually showed in a recent video when I was talking about my meditation space. This is a hand of Fatima, and it says on the back, "I am protected." It was given to me by a good friend, and it is something that I can keep hold of, and just for me, it works on many levels. It reminds me a bit of my heritage, my culture, but it also reminds me of my friendship. But it brings me back because it is a physical object that has an interesting texture. It actually has several textures on it, and I can feel it. But I also have these words on the back, "I am protected," that help me remember that I'm safe. I'm safe right here, right now. I'm only writing. That's my creative outlet of choice, and I can stop writing, and I can leave this here. I can even destroy it if I want to. I don't have to keep what I'm working on right now. So this is a great reminder. It can be wonderful to have words as a reminder, but I also have other objects. I generally choose stones, and those are what I have today to share aside from the Hand of Fatima. This is a rose stone. I always thought they smell kind of interesting when I was a kid. They have a sort of coppery, musky smell to them. This is actually a very large rose stone as far as my rock collection goes, and it's one that my mother gave me a long time ago. I remember having this since I was at least 12, so more than 20 years. It's a pretty long haul for a relief object. Another one I have is, I don't even know what this is. Some people get very invested in what type of stone. I believe this is a jade quartz, and it is actually supposedly very good for grounding. That's one of the qualities of it. Some people get very invested in the type of stone, and I think that's wonderful if that's something that helps you come back. Personally, I don't know why. I can never remember what kind of stone I'm holding. All that matters to me is whether it can keep my attention to help me get back to now. Of course, these are pieces of earth, so that speaks to grounding, but this one has lots of little markings and striations in it, and that is something I can sort of look into. Forgive me, I have a bit of a cold. It's something I can sort of look into, and I can kind of hyper focus on this because there's so much to see, and that will bring me back to now, or at least bring me back to earth, physically, literally back to earth. And as to this one, this is just an amazing stone for me because it fits perfectly in my palm. I can hold on to it. I can set it down. I sometimes keep a little dish. Let me grab my dish. This is from a friend, a different friend. Keep my stones all together, and that way I can access them when I'm writing, or I can create sort of a little shrine or a little altar, however you want to think of it, for my specific release and my release, recovery process. I really like this dish because it is a heart. It's not something I would ever buy for myself, not because it's not beautiful, but because it seems like it's a gift for a friend. It just looks like a gift, and it has been a true gift. It has a giraffe in it, and I love giraffes, so yay. Another type of relief object that I keep are pictures of loved ones, and I'm about to wrap up here. Just want to give you a little bit of a introduction to what I mean, and I've showed this before as well. This is my family when I was very little. Well, not all of my family, but my teta, my jado, one of my aunts, that's my little sister. And that's me right there. And in the picture, the reason I'm showing this again, I forget where the camera is on this thing. Well, the reason I'm showing this again, excuse my weird, oh, are you there? Is because I'm actually in the picture holding a relief object that I still have. I had since I was born. It is a puppet that's a bunny made out of blanket material, especially it's like sort of soft flannelly material, and it has silky inner ears. And I would do this with the inner ear, and I would hold the whole ear over my nose, and having that change in temperature and change in smell of the air around my nose was deeply comforting to me. I called it fee-fowing. I don't know why, but I would suck my thumb, I would hold the bunny nose against my ear, and I would put my pinky up, and when I was like that, like, it was serious business. My family knew. Shauna's comforting herself. She is fee-fowing right now. Leave her alone. And they did. They really respected that. And sometimes I'd get really upset. My mom would say, "Do you need to fee-fow?" And I would say, "Yes, I do." And she would find me one of my bunnies. I actually have 6. So she would find me my bunnies. And that was one of the ways that even when we're very young, we always come up with something. But texture and smell are the things that speak to me. And I think if you go back and you look at yourself when you're a child and you say, did I carry a blanket, or was it a stuffed animal that I really loved? And how did I interact with that object? We all have comfort objects. Maybe you had a pacifier that you just kept until you were 4 or 5 or however long, or you sucked your thumb, maybe something like that. Then you can make a better choice about what your comfort object, your relief object might be when you're writing. If you were someone who sucked your thumb, you might consider a straw or some gum, something that you can not necessarily have while you're working, but have ready so that if you do get kind of separated from yourself during that process and you forget that you are safe right here and right now, what you are doing is temporary and that you can leave it, then you can kind of wake up and see, oh, there's my gum, and put that in my mouth, and it reminds me with the flavors, with the motion of chewing, with chewing a straw or drinking a drink, what else did I say? Something, putting on, sometimes some people love a blanket or a weighted blanket. I love to have a pillow for my lap. Putting a pillow on my lap, really, I feel like I'm being held down. Whatever it is, just think about what you did when you were younger and see how that translates to now. You probably will find that you have a habit now that you can turn to and you can take into your creative space with you, and that's yours. And that will keep you here and now and help you remember that you are safe right here, right now, and that whether it's trauma or whatever else you're writing through, you can do it. Thanks for listening. Bye.